Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm on a big grand adventure today. We're on the highest point of Hemlock Knob, and there used to be a fire tower right here. This is the old Hemlock fire tower. I'm walking right up the steps right now. This is how you would have entered. Now, the floor would have been the height of these of the concrete. So I'm actually stepping down into the cellar. There's a door on each side. I'm assuming was underneath the floor, would have been for storage. Not a lot of room in these little buildings when you lived in them around the clock. But I've wanted to come up here for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. And I finally made it on this cold, windy day. It's always windy up here on top of these high knobs. From this tower, he had a really good view of the Watch Easy Tower over there. Of course, all these trees would have been cut around the tower at that time. Like over here somewhere would have been the Beaver Dam Bald Tower, and over here would be the Cold Springs Fire Tower. Would have been quite a life up here. 1925, Beecher Colvin's dad went to work for the Forest Service. Some of you are old enough to remember if you camped at Indian Boundary in the 80s. Everybody knew Beecher that was out there all the time before he retired from the Forest Service. But his dad manned this tower. And in 1944, his dad took sick and died shortly after. Beecher was 16 years old and he took his dad's job, just came and started working in this tower. After a little while, he transferred to the Cold Springs Tower, which was actually a tower. This one was like the old one at Watch Easy. It was just like a pillbox that sat here on the ground. The mountain itself was high enough and sharp enough with the trees cut that you could see look like a nice 360-degree panoramic view to watch for smoke. I like exploring our mountains. I remember before Beecher Colvin died, I was standing beside him at the Tellico Ranger Station. I believe it was 2008, whatever the math works up, for the 75th anniversary of the CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps. And we were looking at the Oswald Firefinder that's still on display down there in the Ranger Station. And Beecher himself told me, he said, we took that one out of the old Hemlock Tower. It was actually here and it's still on display down there. That's kind of neat, some of our history like that. I like to just get out and explore these things. Like I said, I've been wanting to come up here for years. I knew it used to be up here. I climbed up here today and I didn't know what I would find. I'd seen a picture in a book and I thought, well, it was just a wooden building on the ground. There may not be any ruins, but as you can see, there was a good concrete foundation here and steps that are still left. If you'd like to come up here and look at it sometime, it's quite a hike and bushwhack through the woods, but just way up above the skyway here. We're so blessed in East Tennessee where we live. We got 650,000 acres of the Cherokee National Forest, which butts up against other national forests in the Great Smoky Mountains, that there is no way in one lifetime we can explore all of our ridges and hollers. And I think of my friend Roger Taylor, who died back in 2018. Roger was a mountain man around here his whole life, and he was telling me about the other places that he wanted to go see and things he had heard about and go check out. And he told me not too long before he died, though, he said, but I'm running out of time. And that's kind of how I feel today. There's still a lot of places I want to check out, but I'm running out of time. But I'm sure that God's got some neat things like this for us to explore and adventures when we get to heaven too. And this world is not the only world. There's a better world than this one even. And I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you are too, if you've made your peace with God through the Lord Jesus Christ. In the meantime, what time I've got left down here, I'm going to serve the Lord and get out and have some fun and adventures too. We'll see you next week on the Weekly Word. I'm going to show you some other things here that I don't even know what they are. Maybe you can tell me what they are. I think maybe it's a cistern that they caught water in. Look for these pictures. See ya. You can tell that's one big tank. Well, look what we found. We're on our way out and going down the backside here. And this old insulator was once just nailed on the trees. And this cable is how they communicated from the fire towers to the ranger station, which originally was in town in Tellico Plains. They stretched cable all the way from Tellico Plains to these fire towers. And there's some of the old remnants of it. That lasted until the radios came along. They didn't need it anymore. That's kind of neat to find that remnant still laying out here in the woods today.